Well, the parking lot was full, so that's a good thing. Last year it was there's hardly anybody here, so looks like it's gonna be a good ceremony. I had to park a little bit away, but oh yeah, we got a lot of people here today. Thank God. God bless those who died and fought for our liberties.
I do have a card.
Thank you very much. I love it.
Took me a while to get cards.
Yeah, so I'm from Eugene, actually, and then I work with Senator James Manning, and then
So you're in his office?
oh, we're not in his office, but we're a good friend. So I work at a credit union in Eugene, West Credit Union. They're called yes, yes. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah. So. Yes, yes, yes. So we're doing a lot of community outreach. So, you want to be able to read it? Yes.
젊은 목사님이 좋아요.
Good old MacArthur. There's some Korean War vets over here that were actually served with South Korea. So that's cool.
Association, Oregon Trail Chapter. We were asked to have an abbreviated ceremony because of the rules, which seem to change a bit from time to time. The guidelines continue to change, and we were informed on Friday that we could have, as many as 50 people with the social distancing and mask. And then as the weekend progressed, we were informed that those rules have changed. We can have as many as 200, I don't know, maybe 400. I didn't get a specific number from the governor. But masks are not mandatory. But if you feel comfortable wearing a mask, that is totally understandable. All of our service flags have been pre-posted to minimize the number of personnel that we originally anticipated having on the field. But I did get a call from our very helpful Civil Air Patrol, Commander Carl Knox, and Carl wanted to know, hey, aren't we going to post flags? And I tried to explain to him the difference between the rules on Friday and the rules on Saturday. So in future, our cadets will be with us. At approximately 11:15, plus or minus 2 minutes, according to Steve Payne, the flight commander, we should have a flyover. It'll be a flyover by the West Coast Ravens, who have flown for us before, but today might be a little exceptional. It's such a beautiful day, what a backdrop, and there could be as many as 8 to 12 aircraft.
Booyah.
We will begin our ceremony with an invocation from our KWVA chaplain, Terry Schreck. Terry, would you come forward, please? We have with us today's honored guest. We have the Honorable Consul General of the Republic of Korea, Won-Jik Kwon. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. We also have the Honorable Mayor of Wilsonville, Julie Fitzpatrick. Excuse me, Julie Fitzgerald. We also have our Fitzpatrick, who is the head of the ODVA, and My apologies, Julie. We also have with us Greg Caldwell, who is the Honorary Consul for the Republic of Korea for Northern Oregon. And Greg is very instrumental in, I don't want to say helping to put these programs together. It's almost as if I've left it to Greg and Greg has put these programs together. Thank you, Greg. Also present is Susan Cox, Southern Oregon Honorary Consul for the Republic of Korea. Susan is also Vice President of Policy and External Affairs for the Holt International. Susan's career has covered a broad sweep of child adoption and welfare services at both the national and the international levels. Korean War veterans certainly know the Holt story as it relates to Korea. Included in this Memorial Day commemoration and here to present 6 wreaths are members of 6 organizations. And I'll ask you to please raise your hand as I call the name of your organization. Korean War Memorial Foundation of Oregon. Thank you very much for doing that. Consulate General, Republic of Korea. City of Wilsonville. Korean War Veterans Association. Korean Society of Oregon. And the Korean War Veterans Association, Oregon Trail Chapter. Thank you to everyone for participating in this very meaningful commemoration. Our chapter officers that are here with us today are David Pennifor, First Vice President, George Van Humison, our Second Vice President, Mary Gifford, our long-standing Secretary Treasurer, and our chaplain, who you've met, Chaplain Terry Schreck. And our membership of our chapter also includes Mr. Greg Caldwell as an honorary member of the chapter. At this time, I'd like to ask the mayor to come forward and address our gathering and welcome us.
That was wonderful timing. Thank you.
Consul General, in just a second, I want to recognize Ms. Nahe Kwon, who is with us. Where is she?
Way back there.
Oh, back there. Okay. Oh, back there. She's from the consulate. She is a researcher at the consulate, a longtime friend, one of the first people that I met when I became honorary consul. She's a longtime permanent member of the staff there. And we have Mr. Dae Song Jung. Where did he go? Where is he? Oh, way back there in the back. He is a newcomer to the consulate in Seattle. And in fact, when I called them, I said, "Oh, let me have his telephone number and his email," and that he was so new he didn't even have an email. So he's been here about 1 week. So welcome to Oregon. Now, I sent out some earlier messages giving some background on Consul General Kwon, but I will repeat some of this. He is a graduate of Seoul University in Korea, and that speaks a lot. That's the best university in the country. He joined the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in 1993, and he has held many positions around the world with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He was first posted to Washington, D.C. At the Korean embassy there. Then his next stop took him to a radically different area of the world, Kabul, Afghanistan, where he served for a while. He's also worked in the presidential office in Seoul, He's worked at the Korean Embassy in Beijing, China, and he has also served in the Philippines. He arrived in Seattle just about 5 months ago, right in the middle of the COVID crisis, in I think December of 2020. And he has been able to meet a number of officials, elected officials in Oregon, some members of the Korean community who either went to Seattle or he has met them on Zoom. But this is his first visit, and we're happy that he's here. Those of you who know him seem to agree with my colleague Susan Cox, who is from Southern Oregon. We know him. We feel that he's a little bit less formal than some of the past consuls general. He's very approachable, you'll find. He's eager, genuine, collaborative. These are adjectives that people have described him as, and he's very willing to help. I would say too that he places a very high value on the service and the sacrifice of our Korean War veterans. So let's give a warm welcome to Consul General Won-jik Hwang.
Good morning. I was so moved and touched to be part of this wonderful ceremony. It is my honor to be here because as a career diplomat, Seattle is my first chief of mission in Foreign Service Office. Good morning. A special thank you to Mr. Chuck Lusardi, President of Korean War Veterans Association Oregon Trail Chapter, and its members, and to Mayor Julie Fitzgerald, to Mr. Han Soo-kim, President of Korean Society of Oregon, and special thank you to former State Senator John Lim and Grace Lim. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with the utmost honor and with a sense of solemnness that I attend today's Memorial Day service. Today's ceremony is particularly meaningful for me as it is my first time to serve the Memorial Day as Consul General, and it is my first visit to this beautiful Korean War memorial in Wilsonville, Oregon. First of all, I'd like to pay my deepest respect and tribute to those men and women service members who gave their lives for a noble cause. And I want to especially honor those who served and sacrificed during the Korean War. My deepest sympathy and condolences go out to those veterans who have passed away since their return from Korea. It is my great honor to meet with the Korean War veterans present today. And to those who couldn't join us today because of illness or infirmity, I wish God blessings and good health upon them. As a Korean diplomat, I can fully understand the impact and legacy of the Korean War, even though I didn't experience it. When it comes to the Korean War, this question has always come to my mind. Would I have come to defend the country I never knew? Would I have come across the Pacific to defend the people I never met? The US government and the US people did answer the question. They made a determination to devote themselves to defend a far-away country from a communist invasion. Their courage, dedication, and sacrifice made it possible for a small and weak nation to stand on its own 2 feet and to cherish freedom and democracy. Korea has been assured of its national security, especially through the Korea-US Alliance Treaty of 1953. And US support was not limited to the fields of defense and security. US economic assistance was very instrumental in Korea's rebuilding its economy and its society. Thanks to the United States, Korea has taken the successful journey from being one of the poorest countries in 1950s to the 12th largest economy in the world. Korea has transformed itself from an aid recipient to one of the world's major donors. I can proudly say that none of the countries where the US forces were involved has been as successful in its recovery and development as Korea. I believe the United States, and in particular in its Korean War veterans, are very proud of Korea and what Korea has become. The veterans' blood, sweat, and tears were never in vain. The Korean War is no longer a forgotten war. It was, and it is, a victory that will never be forgotten, especially by Koreans. Korea's remarkable journey for the past 7 decades must not stop. We will continue to make efforts to move towards a better future, overcoming whatever challenges might lie ahead. As you know, Korea is still divided into 2 countries and 2 systems. It is technically still at war because only an armistice agreement has been signed. North Korea still poses challenges and security threats to our security in all possible ways. The geopolitical situation surrounding the Korean Peninsula is still complex and fluid. Under such circumstances, the Korean government does its best to strengthen the peace and stability on the Korean Peninsula, laying the groundwork for a peaceful unification of the 2 divided Koreas. At the center of these efforts is our strong Korea-US alliance relationships. All of you today are living testimony for such rock-solid Korea-US relations. I believe our Korean War veterans would be very pleased and feel rewarded to see a much stronger, more prosperous, and peacefully united democratic Korea. Once again, on behalf of the Korean government, let me express my highest appreciation for the Oregonians' courage and sacrifice for the freedom and peace of Korea. Finally, I sincerely pray that God will bless all of the Korean War veterans with unfailing health and happiness. Thank you.
Amen.
Rest.